All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, very excited to be talking to an individual set to compete at Octagon 61 in the co-main event as Makhmud Muradov takes on Scott Askham, and great to have Scott on the program to chat a bit about the fight, and I'm sure we'll cover on a few things ahead of September 21st and this fight. I guess right from the bat, just wanted to say thanks so much for, making the time during fight week to chat a little bit, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I've missed these interactions, these meetings, all these interviews and stuff like that. I'm excited to be back. I can't wait.
Yeah, you had kind of an interesting interview somewhat recently, too, from what I was noticing, just with, Octagon analyst and commentator Luke Barnatt doing an interview with you, and you guys fought each other under the now ACA, but back then ACB banner. So how was that? That must have been kind of an interesting sort of
Yeah,
interaction being, yeah.
that's the first time we've had a chat as well since we fought. I've never really seen him since then, and yeah, it was a good catch up. It was a really good interview actually. I really enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. And just an exciting fight coming up here and everything like that. Just getting to, compete in such a prominent fight in the Czech Republic. Like, it seems like a great fight, just being that you're facing another former UFC star and whatnot. So it seems like there's a lot of cool moving parts to it and everything like that.
Yeah, it'll be my first time visiting Czech Republic. I'm fighting the home guy again. Big name. Obviously, I ranked, and yeah, it's gonna put me straight in that.
Yeah, it seems like a
Yeah,
lot of people are talking about it as like a title eliminator. That seems to be a sentiment that you also share.
yeah, I believe it is. I don't know if it's labelled a title eliminator, but yeah, I do believe so. How can it not be? Let's be right. I was due to fight Kerim, who's got the title shot. He pulled out of a fight with me, injured, and then he doesn't even fight since, and then he gets a title shot. So it proves that my name's right about there with those guys. Um, I truly believe a win will put me in that title picture. Definitely, if Karim can get a title shot off an injury without even fighting me, then I've got to be right there.
And it just seems like such a quick rise with the company, which must be exciting. Like, I was seeing some social media posts and kind of doing my backgrounding on you before chatting today, and it seemed like you were keen on getting another world championship. And just with this being your second fight in the company, and like you said, in such close proximity, and you've previously been the BAMMA champion and the KSW champion, it seems like that path to getting another, nice piece of hardware on the mantle is really rapidly going for you, man.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, I've been around the block. I've been in this game a long time. Do you know what I mean? So, um, obviously, what I've done in other organisations puts me straight in good stead for these organisations. So I truly believe like I'm a win away from a title shot, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I've fought for some big shows. I mean, I've touched on a few of them just throughout this brief time we've been chatting so far. It seems like Octagon's really been making some big waves in the European MMA scene. Like, what's it like been? What has it like been rather fighting for them so far? Like I said, it seems like
Yeah,
they're making waves.
oh, Octagon's doing amazing. What they're doing around Europe, like Germany and other places in Europe, is amazing. The show they've got in October is going to be a really big one. This one's a big one. I think they've already had a big one in Germany earlier this year. What it's unbelievable to be a part of it. I think they've got probably the best middleweight division in Europe. Um, I think that'd be hard to argue with. So excited to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, and kind of curious to, I guess, get some insights into like the Octagon journey because I was seeing an article around the Octagon 48 fight where the headline was former KSW champ joins Octagon on loan. So it was like that kind of language was at play at the time. Like, when did you get into like an exclusive kind of like contractual agreement with Octagon? Because it seemed like based on that headline, it was more of like you were contracted to KSW, but being, I guess, allowed, quote unquote, that opportunity to, compete with Octagon. So just kind of curious to get some insights into all that there.
Yeah, exactly that. I was still contracted to KSW at the time. They were saying they didn't have a fight for me till March time. They were going to release me for one fight, and then he just materialized that the best decision for me in my career were Octagon. So and that's how it all played out.
Yeah, I guess it kind of worked out. I feel like sometimes it can be a little messy with promotions. Like I feel like sometimes promotions can either really, make it difficult in terms of you moving on to something else or having a more clear lane in another company, whereas like some seem more open to it and have more of the fighter interest at heart. So, good to hear that it kind of smoothly worked out for you there.
Yeah, it all went smooth. Like I say, it's all business. I've got no bad blood against KSW. I've got no bad blood for any organisation I fought on, to be honest with you. I just understand that everything's business. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying some things don't leave a bad taste in my mouth, but that's just business. I see that side of things, and I know it all works. And yeah, the right move for me in my career was signing Octagon. I've seen what they're doing in Europe. I've seen how big they were growing, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, no, it's exciting times, man, for sure, and everything like that. And just seems like there's a lot of opportunities available to combat sports athletes nowadays. Like, just had noticed you fought Jack Marshman several years ago for that UCFC middleweight championship
Yeah,
and
that's right.
everything
Yeah,
like that. And yeah, I mean, he's doing some cool stuff now. Like, he made his bare knuckle debut, got a first round KO recently at BYB 30. So good to see all these different opportunities out there.
100%. Yeah, I still follow Jack. Me and Jack. I won't say friends, but I do like to keep an eye on his career and what he's doing in his life and that. And yeah, I've seen that he just recently had a fight on BKB, whatever promotion it was, but a bare knuckle. Um, Yeah, but I truly believe that in Europe there's a lot more opportunities. When I go to America and train in America, a lot of the guys, like if they're not signed to Bellator, PFL, UFC, those guys are really struggling, and I feel like the opportunities in Europe. And I think European MMA. I feel like England's got a bit of catching up to do to the rest of Europe. I feel like in the UK, the UFC fans, but they're not MMA fans. Whereas the rest of Europe, like I've been to shows in France, 20,000. Obviously, I'm fighting in Brno in Czech Republic. It's going to have a sellout crowd. I fought in Poland many times in front of sellout crowds. Like all Germany, also going to doing sellout crowds there. But then England, like outside the UFC organizations, aren't doing as good. Um, but the opportunity for the fighters, I do feel like is much bigger. I just think I would like personally for the English people, not English fans because they're not fans yet, the English people to become more fans of MMA.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can see more of that for sure, man. Just, with Octagon, debuting in Manchester and whatnot, and just you getting a victory on that event. Like, hopefully stuff like that can serve to, like, I guess, spread awareness to the fact that it's, the sport of mixed martial arts and not just necessarily like a UFC
Yeah,
centric kind of
100%.
thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, great to see Octagon encroaching into that market and stuff like that. And yeah, no, they've been doing great things for sure, as we've, kind of said and whatnot. But you were kind of talking about like how sometimes you've, trained in America. Like it seems like you're kind of, predominantly out of the UK right now, from what I can tell. Like it seemed like GCA Grimsby was like the primary space you were working at there. And saw you were working with the Bolton Olympic wrestling squad there and
Yeah,
stuff
so
like
yeah.
that. So yeah, great preparations, it seems like.
Yeah, but like if you actually looked on the map where them two are in relation to each other, like one's northeast and one's northwest. It's like they're literally totally opposite ends of the map. Um, so yeah, I've got a lot of miles in for this camp. I've been doing a lot of work at Manchester top team as well. But yeah, like I've really got the miles in this camp. That's the only thing that I've not enjoyed about this camp is the miles. Um, the weather's just started to drop a bit cold now. It's nowhere near cold yet, but it's obviously the end of the summer. I mean, it's just started to get a bit cooler. But yeah, I'm not like upset about anything. I've really enjoyed this camp. It's been a good camp, and I'm excited for it to be over with. But yeah, that's just standard. Even when I've been to America top team, I'm excited for it to be over with.
And it seems like you have a good rapport with Jack Grant. Like it seems like he's doing great things in PFL as you're doing great things in Octagon, and just, you guys cornering each other and whatnot. That seems like a great dynamic you have there.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, like me and Jack have known each other for a long time now. We've shared the mats for many years, and we've just grew closer and closer and closer as careers have progressed. Um, some of my best moments in my career are cornering Jack, like, and I hope the same for him. So he's cornering me on Saturday, and then I'm going straight to Scotland to corner him. And like you say, I think it's a good dynamic. It's we buzz being around each other, and that's the main thing. Like in fighting, you need to have a good relationship and good understanding of each other, and you also need good energy. You know what I mean? Like it's all about the energy fight week and carrying that good energy, which Jack 100% brings. He's always got a smile on his face, always cracking jokes and that. So yeah, it's really good to have him in the corner.
Yeah, no, those kind of dynamics seem
As
so
well as him
important.
being a beast. Obviously, the beast as well as that. Sorry, go on. What are you saying? Sorry.
No, no worries, man. There was just a slight delay on my end. Just great to hear there's those connections and stuff like that. It seems so important for a fighter's growth.
100%, yeah. Like I said, how many years? I've probably trained with Jack 9 years now, like regularly. Um, yeah, but we've known each other probably 15 years now. Yeah. I still can remember my first interaction with him. I can remember seeing him on shows, and like I probably think he can the same. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's good to have relationships like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you've been in the game for a bit now. Like I was checking out the, Tapology page and stuff like that. And I mean, been in there with so many great guys, but even in some instances where I guess fights end up kind of falling out too. I mean, I saw you had a canceled fight with Anthony Smith in the UFC
Yeah.
at one point. Like, what are your thoughts on, I guess, Anthony Smith's upcoming fight against Dominic Reyes? Like, how do you see that one kind of playing out
That
and everything like that?
that one really stung. That one, the pull out with Anthony Smith there, because it was totally out of my hands, and it wasn't my fault. It was in a way my fault, but it wasn't. Um, Somebody had filled the visa out wrong, not me. And luckily, I had email evidence that it wasn't me. And now I've corrected that, and I've had work visas for Florida, America since. Um, but yeah, that was really disappointing. But then Anthony Smith went on a really big tear in the middleweight division. He went on a good run. Um, Truthfully, looking back, like I don't think I could have beat him now. Like obviously at the time I was getting there to win, um, but like me being honest to myself, the run he went on and the place I was at with my training, like I would have really struggled to beat him. I was a bit of a counter puncher. I didn't really put the pressure on much. Obviously, my style's changed so much since that date. But yeah, he obviously he's gone up to light heavyweight. He's doing good things at light heavyweight now as well. I didn't even know he fighting Dominic Reyes. To be honest with you, I don't follow it enough to know that. But that's enough a good fight. Obviously, he's putting himself right in the picture, right in the mix.
Yeah, it should be an exciting fight. Pair of former title challengers for that 205-pound belt. And I guess in kind of saying that, like I'd be curious to, get your thoughts on Alex Pereira defending his UFC light heavyweight title against Khalil Roundtree and everything like that. That seems like a interesting fight.
Yeah, 100%. Alex Pereira can do what he wants now, can he? Yeah. What he's done in the sport in such a little time, it's absolutely amazing, unbelievable. And whether Roundtree deserves it or not, that I'm not the person to debate these things. Like that's the UFC decision. Again, a lot of these decisions are business decisions. Sometimes you've got to sell yourself a bit better. Maybe Ankalaev don't do that. I don't know. Like it's not always the best guy who gets the title shot. It's the best ones that sell themselves.
Yeah, there is like a certain commercial kind of component to a lot of that kind of stuff as well, which is, yeah, it can be unfortunate for sure. And there is, I guess, a bit of an interesting backdrop with him having some issues with, I guess, like banned substances being in the system, and he was kind of out
Yeah, I heard
for
something
a little
about that.
bit.
Yeah, I don't read that much about all stuff like that. Yeah, it's, it is what it is. Like, I'd never heard of picograms till USADA came in, and then everybody on picograms. You know what I mean? There were no such thing as picograms before USADA, but it is what it is. I stay out of stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. It is kind of an interesting sort of thing because, yeah, similar for me. I hadn't heard of that term until, it got
Yeah,
interjected into the space a little bit. And now all of a sudden people have like pulsating picograms and this, that, and the other. But
yeah,
yeah,
100%. Crazy. I don't know. It just came from nowhere.
yeah, I prefer to focus on the actual fights that are going on. And to that point, I
That's it.
mean,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best part. Yeah.
Yeah, but your opponent has quite the track record with Oktagon too. Like I was seeing he had fought for them circa summer of 2019 and obviously like I was saying before similar to you in as far as like having that UFC
Yeah.
run and it was kind of curious how it sort of ended there because he had like a no contest and then he had like a fight that he withdrew from for UFC 301 and now
Mate, do
he's
me a
in
favor. Can
Octagon.
we just pause it for 1 second? Because I'm water loading. I want to wee myself. Like, sorry, I'll be back
No,
in
yeah,
about
yeah.
one.
You can go ahead for sure, man. Yeah. Octagon 61 coming up on September 21st. Going to be a great event. Talking to a co-main event participant. And yeah, should be an intriguing middleweight matchup that we've got going down.
So sorry about that. Yeah. No, with my water loading and that, it's an absolute pain. I don't like to be more than like 20 minutes away from my house when I'm water loading because it becomes a bit of pain. It's got really dark really quick here, hasn't it?
Yeah, no worries, man. I mean, that's kind of, I guess, part and parcel with preparing for fight week. And kind of like I was saying before, I appreciate you making the time to chat and everything like that. I guess like talking about, Muradov here, like what are your thoughts on their general resume and some of the better skills that he's going to be bringing to the cage in this one?
Yeah, I know you mentioned his Octagon career, but God knows true if I even look that far back. Um, Obviously 2019 is a long time ago. I don't need to be watching fights that far back.
Yeah.
He's had enough fights in the UFC to watch and stuff. Um, Stylistically, I think it's a good matchup for me. I'm not going to deny he's a tough fight. If I'm not switched on, he's a dangerous guy. But so am I. I'm going to be dangerous in there. So he needs to be as worried about me as I am him. But yeah, I'm really looking to get in there and put on a clinic on this one and show everybody that I'm still a danger and I'm back.
Yeah, I mean, and like kind of like I was saying before, I think there's a reason why this fight is being discussed by certain pundits and fans alike as being something that could represent a title eliminator, just like the pedigree both of you guys bring to the table and everything. So definitely a well-matched fight. And I mean, there's a reason it's the co-main event too.
Yeah, 100%. It's not often you get guys with a winning record leaving the UFC. Do you know what I mean? So that shows a lot about him as well. And then what the run I went on when I left the UFC, that also shows a lot about me. So yeah, it puts us both in the picture. It's high up there in the card. Um, I believe he's from that area, or he's definitely from Czech Republic. I know he's from Uzbekistan, but yeah, he lives there. So um, I seen he's been doing a lot of training with Carlos Vimola as well, who's a big name out in that area. So he'll definitely have the crowd on his side. But that's more pressure on him, not more pressure on me.
Yeah, and I mean, you're no stranger to big fights, even outside of the aforementioned UFC experience. Like that trilogy you had with Makhmud Muradov was definitely an attention-grabbing one for the MMA world, I felt like.
Yeah, Mohamed's a big name. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. All that, like, it is what it is. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. But I've been out for 2.5 years when we had the trilogy fight, and and then I got offered that fight. Um, Sorry, my phone just started to ring.
No worries.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Sorry, I thought I hung up, but I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
No
Um,
worries.
yeah. So like I was saying, I fought him like 9 months post surgery. Um, I rolled the dice and it didn't work out. I can't grumble about it. Ideally, I would have liked another fight before that. Um, but yeah, he's he could quite easily say that I got him at a good time. You never know what's going off in someone's life. Like when I beat him, might have had something off. Like let's just say he's the he was better them days. I was better that day. That's just how it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it works in the sport sometimes. I guess like the opportunity kind of just presents itself when it presents itself. And I mean, like you were saying, a competitive hiatus played a role into everything. So yeah, it is kind of just one of those things, I guess. I guess you can only take the opportunities when they're presented to you, and sometimes it doesn't, unfold in the most ideal kind of way.
That's it. Yeah. Like if I won, I wouldn't be complaining like this. So he probably could say that's what he probably could say. Do you know what I mean? But he 100% got me at a good time. I'm sure he knows it deep down, but it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. That's part of my career. That's over now, and I'm going to move forward.
Yeah, and like we've been saying before, you're now in a good spot to vie for a championship down the line in another promotion. And yeah, it seems like you have a lot of great stuff on the go and everything.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like now he's focusing on Octagon and what they're presenting. I feel like Octagon's got a really strong middleweight division. A lot of the signings, a lot of the fighters. He's got a strong middleweight division, so there's big fights there. There's lots of fights there, and I'm sure they can keep me busy.
Yeah, and I saw on the Octagon social media they were saying there's going to be a KO here, and they were kind of putting it out there to kind of create the engagement, talking about who will add another notch to their gloves. Like, is that a sentiment you can kind of agree with as well? Like, do you see this one ending inside the distance and all that?
Hopefully so. That's what I'm aiming for. But that was a really good graphic, by the way. Credit to Octagon for that. That was a sick image that they pulled off there. I really like that one. And yeah, always looking for the finish. That's what I'm always in there. I'm always dangerous. So yeah, um, I'm sure he is too.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Definitely an exciting fight. And yeah, I've been following your fights for a bit now, for sure. So I appreciate you making some time to talk today. It was a great
I can't hear you, man.
conversation. But
You gone off?
oh, that's a little odd. Can you hear me now? I don't know why that would have dropped
Yeah, I
out.
can now. Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just saying that I appreciate you making the time to talk. I've been following your fights for a little bit now, and just yeah, I mean, like I said before, I mean, it being fight week and all and whatnot, you have a lot on the go, and really appreciate you making the time. But figured I'd be respectful to the rest of your schedule and kind of give you the floor to see if perhaps you have a final parting thought you wanted to add as we're kind of wrapping things up here, Scott.
no, yeah. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for the interview. I just like to apologise for how dark it's got so quick. I can't believe. Like, obviously, when I pulled up, the lighting was fine, and now it's literally just pitch black in that short amount of time. But yeah, I've tried to turn the interior light on, and I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on, and see you all Saturday.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's kind of that time of year for sure where it's like it just seems like it's light out and it's like, oh, yeah, okay, we're doing all right here. It's like golden hour kind of thing, and then just all of a sudden pitch black. So I hear you.
That's it. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, no worries, man. I appreciate the time and should be a great fight against Makhmud Muradov. I'll be checking out Octagon 61, and I'm sure a ton of people are going to be checking it out on September 21st. So, yeah, thanks for coming on Bowks Talking Bouts, and you enjoy the rest of your day, Scott. Thank you for the time. Much appreciated.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. See ya.